So, seeing that I've been using that parts washer like crazy, and the fluid just is so nasty it keeps plugging up my filter in the pump. So I'm going to change the fluid. I got two new 5-gallon buckets of fluid, and I got a couple empty 5-gallon buckets to drain the fluid into, and redo that. And I got finally, after 5 trips to the Secretary of State and 9 hours of time dealing with the title, I finally got it transferred today. Yay! Yeah, the date was off by 1 day on the date of title transfer from what the title said and what their computer said. So it just caused major fiascos. Everything else was spot on the title. It was a correct title. They scanned it and everything, but because that date was 1 day off and everything's computerized and no one has any common sense, I think, well, I don't know, I can't say that. They're really nice at the Secretary of State's office. They really bent over backwards to try and get it straightened out. But still, 5 trips, 9 hours to get a title transferred. Kind of nuts, huh? So enough ranting about that. Let me get the fluid, start siphoning it out of the tank and change the fluid. Pretty simple, just actually duct tape sticks there. I'm surprised. Greasy as this thing always is, but it's flowing out. The bucket's about half full, and I've only had this going for a couple minutes. Yeah, it's been a lot of years since I changed the fluid in this thing. So, a little cleaner. It was so sludged up, the stuff wouldn't even flow, and I pulled that out. But anyway, we got it cleaned up, put some new fluid in it. That looks a little better, doesn't it? These are the oil pan bolts. Those are the timing cover bolts. Those are the bolts for the oil pickup, which I threw in the fluid just to make sure that's totally clean. And it's nice having clean fluid in there. It's been probably a good 10 years since I changed the fluid, and I use this thing all the time. This is crazy. It's getting to the point where I'm getting parts that I didn't, I forgot that I had ordered. But anyway, I got the vacuum modulator, but the seals that I got from an old local auto parts store for the transmission, I put that towel on there because I racked my leg on it, cut it open. But they were totally incorrect, so I'm going to have to, I think I'm just going to find an ancient transmission shop, if there's any around, and see if I can find, if they still have old stock parts. Or if not, I'll take the seals out and take them to this place called Bearing Services, which used to be Detroit Ball Bearing, and they can take the numbers or measure the seal and match it up exactly. So we'll get some seals for it. So I'm going to take the manifolds off the heads, and the first thing I got to do is get these ears off the bolts so the wrench fits on. I guess they felt they needed to bend more than 1 or 2 over. Alright, you get the picture on straightening those out. Well, usually these ones come undone. I just tap the hammer on to make sure it's on all the way, and then just thump it a couple times with the palm of my hand, and then they tend to loosen up. These are the bottom ones. I guess it's the top ones that stick. Oops. Maybe I'll get my little air impact out. I'm going to try one of these top ones. Yeah, I'm gonna end up rounding that head with this. I'm gonna just hit them real quick with my impact lightly. So I'm just using my little impact. These ones just backed right out, but these ones don't. So I just kind of, and I'm using my little one so I don't bust them right off. So I just hit it like this. Sometimes that breaks them loose. So I might put a little heat on the ear of the head right here just to loosen them up, but I think I'm going to loosen those ones up here. That is not sitting down on there snug because of those tabs that you bend over. So I'm going to give these ones just a quick wrap. Whoops, that one needs a little tapping on. That's because of those little ears, you know, to keep the bolts from loosening up or in the way. Alright, I'm going to put a little heat on those ones because I do not want to bust them off. Well, hopefully with this shows up. I guess I turned that acetylene knob off. I'm just going to put a small flame on it. Maybe a little bigger one than that. Starting to turn. It's hard to hold the torch and the impact at the same time. Back the other way. Looks like it was also seized in the manifold, so I'm going to heat that a little bit too. socket doesn't stand my impact gun when the socket's starting to get hot. I think you get the picture. I think I'm going to turn the camera off and then just continue on so I'm not boring you with a bunch of bolts. So we got one manifold off. You can see that little heat deflector is busted. I'll see if I can get new ones. They may have came with a gasket set, but if it didn't, I'll see if I can find another set or just reuse those if need be. But that got the manifold off with no broken bolts. And you may think, oh, I'm going to crack the head. Well, I'd never heat here, ever. Down in this area, never ever do that. But these little ears up here, it's okay. You know, I've done it on school buses many times when we had to get manifolds off and never had a head damage. So if these heads are cracked, it's because they're already cracked, and I don't think they are. I think they're fine, but we're gonna have them all checked out when they rebuild them. Did pretty good. Got one broken stud I need to drill out. It's no big deal. At least the rest came out. So I'll get that drilled out, and I'm just going to give the parting surfaces a quick clean up, and then we'll get them off to the rebuilder. Well, sorry, my battery went dead when I started drilling, and I didn't realize it until after I was done drilling. And so yeah, I'm going to put a new battery in, but I got it drilled out. I didn't have my tap. So, I mean, you can see the threads in there. The key is drill it dead center. You know, try and punch it center and move your bit when you first start drilling with a tiny bit. When you get it dead center, drill it straight through. And then get a little bigger bit and a little bigger bit. I think I went through 4 sizes of bits until I was to the maximum size for the tap. And then I just took a little pick tool and picked the thread, the old bolt threads out of the thread. So you can actually see the threads in there, but I couldn't find my 3/8 inch tap, so it's missing out of my tap set, so it must be broken or something. I can tap that out anytime, no big deal. But the heads are going to the rebuilder. Does that show up? That's the shop I usually use for my engine work. So I got the heads into DNS Engine, the rebuilder. I'm gonna, if I get a chance this week, I don't know if I have time, maybe early next week, I'll hone the cylinders on the block and look them over with the paddle hone. I'm going to hone them, not with a ball hone, so that if there's any issues from, you know, where the engine was stuck, I'll take it in and have it bored and you know, so we'll see. But I think it'll be fine. All the cylinders measure good for tight end to standard specs, and there's a little staining, but no pits, nothing I could feel in the bores at all. So I think a quick hone and polish up the crank, change the cam bearing, or knock those cam bearings out and all the oil plugs and clean it up, and we'll be on our way to putting the engine, the short block together, and then the heads will be done. He said about 2 weeks. The heads are getting new. I think I said this, so I might be repeating myself, but they're getting new guides. The guides will have little swirls in them to help lubricate them, and you can't use the stock umbrella seals with those new guides. So he's going to have a seal that literally presses down on the guide that the valve rides through. It's going to have new hardened seats. It's going to have new valves, new guides, new springs. The heads will be completely rebuilt. It looks like it's going to be around $600 to $800 for both heads. So when we get them back, I'll do a little video of them. Again, you know, if you like my video, hit the like button. If you want to see this car resurrected, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.